Hi, my name's Grant Allen. I'm a Happy Escape owner. Yeah, I started buying molded fiberglass trailers in my early 20s, and I've only ever bought one what you call stick-built trailers, and I had owned quite a few molded fiberglass trailers before I actually bought my first Escape, which was 2005, and what impressed me about the Escape is the construction and the fact that it was a molded fiberglass trailer and it was lightweight, because not all the molded fiberglass trailers out there are as light as the Escape were. And also, my wife did a lot of the driving, so she felt it wasn't quite as wide as some of them. So when she drove it down the road, she was much more confident. Not that she does all the driving, but she does do most of the driving. Yeah, and so I bought my first one, and circumstances came up, and we built a cabin, and then we at that point we'd sold that one Escape, and as time went on, we wanted to go back to camping again, and the first thing that we did was we went back to, I actually searched out another Escape trailer, and we owned that for many years, and drove it down to California and Arizona and in around there, and then came back with the trailer, and we finally decided when we retired to upgrade to a fifth wheel, and that's how we ended up with the trailer we have now. Yeah, it's been a great trailer. We've driven across Canada with it. We've been to Palm Springs many times, and we were just discussing it the other day that we've spent about 4 months out of every year in it since we got the trailer. So we got, just having said that, using it so much, we got such great value out of the trailer. And it's, what I've always found with Escape trailers is that they held their value, and that's something that's good. And I recall the trailer when I first ordered it, we had to wait 8 months to get it, and it was a really tough 8 months to wait, because we had our little 17B, and it was great, but we were excited to get our fifth wheel. And what happened is I was down south, and we actually spent 2.5 months in our little 17, and I was talking to the guy next door, and he had another brand, and he was telling me the list of problems that he had. He had 2 pages of problems, and some of them they had been back to the manufacturer so many times for, and I'm getting really, like, I don't know. I've ordered a new trailer, and I sure hope this doesn't happen to me. Well, no, it was just like all my other Escapes. It was good quality. Everything worked when I got it. I'm not saying that it's been perfect, but the part that Escape did, was perfect. It was always the other manufacturers behind the scenes, somebody who made something for them, and then those were the things that seemed to go wrong, if anything. But the cabinetry, the mold, everything, the frame and everything that was Escape's part was 100%. So the thing that I liked about Escape was, and I have been dealing with them since they were at their first factory, is and the reason actually we bought the third Escape was the customer service. Over the years, if anything had ever gone wrong with my Escapes, I'd phone the factory and they'd look after me, and there was even times when my trailers weren't in warranty, and I had work done on the trailer, and they always were fair about how they charged me, and and usually they had a quick turnaround, and the workmanship was always spot on. So I was always happy with that, and that's actually what brought me back to buy the 2018, was the experience that I had with Escape on the first two. So I think the most memorable trip that we took in our Escape was the one that we went across Canada in. and we stopped at the 50th anniversary of the Bowler trailer in Winnipeg, and then we went on to Nova Scotia, and we visited, you know, friends and family along the way. And there was so many places that we just, you know, would stop overnight, like impromptu. And, you know, with the escape trailer, it was so easy to find places because it wasn't this big, huge trailer. So there was usually lots of availability around. And I can remember one time we're driving up the road, and there was a traffic accident. It was going to be, road was going to be closed for 5 or 6 hours. And I had seen a provincial campground in, I believe it was Saskatchewan. So we just turned the trailer around and went off to the campground, and you know, it was 5 or 6 hours later, all those people were waiting in the line, and we were back at our campsite, you know, just enjoying our trailer and having a good time. And yeah, we drove around. That trip we went around Peggy's Cove, and we saw, you know, went through different places in Nova Scotia, and yeah, it was probably one of the best trips. We came back through the United States, and it was getting, you know, late. I think by the time we started heading back, we'd left in the beginning of August, and we were coming back in October. So it was probably the most memorable, you know, camping trip that we had. My escape trailers over the years have held up excellent. I guess the biggest thing about the escape trailer that I feel is an asset is the way that they're made in one piece, and then you know, all the windows and the vents and everything are the only holes that they put in the trailer. So and it gives the body a rigidity, and you know, there's a lot less places in it to leak, which has always been a problem with you know, any travel trailer, because of all the moving around that it does. I think if the trailer fits your needs, you know, it's not a trailer for everybody. I mean, not everybody, you know, wants a lightweight, solid, well-built trailer. That they may look at another brand, you know, because it's bigger and it's fancier, and, you know, it has a lot of, you know, a lot more things, but usually along with those things, you know, you get a lot more problems because there's simply more to go wrong. And they can't beat the kind of construction that you get in a fiberglass, molded fiberglass trailer. So. Well, my version of the bubble story may be different than Sandra's. And it is true that we were walking down the road in Harrison, and, you know, the lady came out of the store, and there was bubbles flying around the air, and she said, you know, there are no troubles in the land of bubbles. And, you know, we had always named our trailers, and you know, the early molded fiberglass trailers I owned were Bowlers. And I think, and I always think of them as egg-shaped trailers. I don't know if I can say this now, but I'm the wagon master for the BC Fiberglass Egg Meet. And so I think of these trailers as eggs. And so I named one of my trailers Benny, which is kind of like a you know, a play on words. It's Eggs Benedict, so Benny. And then the next one was Shelley, and Shelley was, you know, like an egg-shaped trailer, right? So it's like shells. And Bubbles, well, you know, we were trying to figure out a name for the fifth wheel, and we hadn't really come up with anything. And the Bubble story came along, and we talked about it, and I thought, well, you know, my trailer kind of looks like a bubble. You know, so that's kind of how Bubbles came to be. So